Welcome. This is Everyday Paradoxes Tiny Truths About Becoming, a 16-part audio series based on my book. These are reflections on the quiet contradictions that shape our growth. I'm Leslie DeMello. In each episode, we'll sit with one small truth from ordinary life, where psychology meets contemplation and insight becomes practice. Let's begin. Chapter 3. Stop finding yourself, start creating yourself. You don't find yourself, you create yourself. For the longest time, we have been told to find who we are, to discover who we are. It's as if there's some perfect version of us that is hiding somewhere, that is waiting to be discovered. But the question that I would like to put to you all is, what if there is nothing to find? What if who you are, who we are, is not a puzzle to be solved, but a living process of becoming? So in this event, we are not searching for the true self. We are practicing something softer. Looking at, learning how to create ourselves, how to create ourselves with intention, with courage, with love. There's nothing to be fixed. We are not going to be fixing anything in this event. We don't need to arrive at any answers at this event. Simply breathe, listen, and feel. And I'll start off with a story. The story is titled The Man Who Lost His Key. It was late evening in a small town. You know that soft hour where that daylight is almost disappearing and the street lamps they start to come up. They give that faint golden light. And there was this man, he was kneeling beneath one of those lamps and he was searching the ground. His hands brushed the dust. His face was tense. His breath was quick. His breath was shallow. And you could tell by the way that he moved that something important was missing. After a while, a passerby stopped. He asked him, "Friend, what are you looking for?" And the man said without looking up, "My key. I've lost my key." And the passerby knelt down beside him and began to help. And for several minutes, the both of them searched. They checked the pavement, they looked under the stones, they looked under the benches, over the benches. They squinted into that glow of the street light. Finally, the helper asked, "Where exactly did you drop it?" And the man vaguely pointed toward the houses behind them and said, "Oh, somewhere inside my house." The passerby froze. "Inside your house?" And he blinked in confusion. "Then why are we searching out here?" The man sighed and said almost helplessly, "Because the light is better over here. Because the light is better over here." And we laugh because it's absurd. We also laugh because, in a way, this is us. We are searching for meaning, we are searching for love, we are searching for confidence, we are searching for peace. And we are looking for all of this under that bright, familiar light of the external world. We look for it in success, we look for it in approval, we look for it in relationships, we look for it in all those places where the light seems good. But the truth, the key, it was never out there. It's inside the house, inside the quiet, sometimes dimly lit rooms of our own well being. And to find it, we have to be willing to step into that softer darkness, into that place where we stop searching and we start creating. Because that's the paradox. You don't find yourself out in the well lit world of appearances. You find yourself when you start shaping light from within, when you create meaning, when you move with courage, with presence right from where you are. And this is the paradox we are exploring. Stop finding yourself, start creating yourself. You remember the story. We are not here to search harder under the bright lights. We are here to turn inward, to light the lamp inside the house, and to discover, maybe even rediscover, that the key was never lost, only waiting to be remembered. And I'm sure all of y'all might have been told or might have heard this at some point or the other, that we need to find ourselves. We need to do some soul searching. We need to come to the core of who we really are. So we go to workshops, we read self help books, books that will help us rediscover ourselves. We travel to places. I've been guilty of that. I have traveled to places to find meaning. And every time I think I've found meaning, life would change its shape again. And again, I would feel lost. And then I would look to go somewhere else to find that meaning again. And then finally, I realized the map was changing because me, the traveler, I kept changing. And what I was looking for, it really wasn't hidden. It was something that kept emerging over time. And every time I made a choice, every time I risked something, I was automatically moving towards that meaning. So we don't find who we are. You don't find who you are. You become who you are through what you create, through what you live, through what you love. We tend to think that clarity comes from searching. That's what I've been talking about. We tend to think that clarity comes from searching. But real clarity comes from creating. And you can think about it. You don't find the person who writes a book. You become that person by writing. You don't find the confident speaker. You don't find that confidence within you. You become confident by speaking, by practicing. You don't find peace. Yeah, you may have an experience of peace, but you don't find peace. You become peaceful when you pause to take that one breath, when you move and create that boundary, one day, one morning at a time. Courage builds the path. That was our previous chapter where we talked about courage. Courage builds the path, begins the path rather. Creation builds on it. So pause for a moment and take a breath. Take a nice deep breath. Fill up those lungs. Let it go. And the question that I would like to put out now is, where in your life are you waiting for clarity to appear? Where in your life are you waiting for clarity to appear? When perhaps clarity is waiting for you to create it. Where in your life are you waiting for clarity to appear? When perhaps clarity is waiting for you to create it. Now, this may be maybe in your career, you're looking for some clarity in your career. Okay, what exactly do I want to make a change in my career, but I really don't know what to do. So maybe it's time to stop waiting for that answer and start creating that answer. What are the things you love doing? Can you move towards your career around that? There's something I was thinking of touching on a bit later, but I think now is the right time for it. We have these areas of our life, these different areas that make up our whole life. We have our health as one area, our relationships, our community, our spirituality, the work that we do, our hobbies, relaxation, different life areas. And generally, there's always a life area in which we are not really satisfied with what's happening in that area. That area could be your health, it could be your relationships, it could be your career, it could be many of them. Let's take one of the areas. For example, one of the areas I like to talk about is the health area, because health is so vital to whatever we want to do with our lives. So let's talk about health area. And maybe today I'm not feeling energetic. I don't wake up fresh in the morning. My quality of sleep is really bad. I'm not having this satisfaction in this area. Many people, they tend to read a health magazine and they try to look for clarity. They try to search for clarity. And then you will find people who collect workout routines and collect recipes and collect ideas. This magical drink that will solve everything, and this recipe that will give you that morning boost, etc., etc. In any of these life areas where you're facing dissatisfaction, I can suggest a 3-step process. And this is the desired state model. First, examine what is your current state. How exactly are you feeling at this moment in that area of your life? For example, I don't feel fulfilled in my relationships. I don't have connections with friends. Or I'm not really satisfied with my career and I don't really know what to do. Or I'm not spending enough time in my community. I would like to have more interactions in my community. So think of any area of your life where you're having this kind of a conflict and try to make a note of what you are currently experiencing. The next thing you would want to do is look at your desired state. How would you like your life to be, your ideal life to be in that area? For example, looking at your health, if you are not feeling energetic, how would you like to feel? I would like to feel energetic in the morning. I would like to walk up 3 flights of stairs without breaking into a panic sweat. Or I would like to run a kilometer without stopping. Or maybe in the area of your career, the work that you do, you would like to be in a job that fulfills you, that gives you satisfaction. Or maybe you would like to have a special someone who you could share your life with. And that's your desired state. So you have current state and you have desired state. Now, what you've got to do is fill in the gap between current state and desired state. If I'm not feeling energetic while I wake up in the morning and I want to feel energetic, what do I need to do? And start noting that down. Start noting the things that you need to do. If I'm not satisfied in career A and I would love if I were in career B, what do I need to do to move from career A to career B? I'm not connected with my family and I would love to have connections with my family. What do I need to do to build these strong connections? And then start doing those things. Start doing those things. Small things, little things, one day at a time. And this is what we are talking about here. Instead of instead of magically expecting beautiful connections to come about, or that career to fall into your lap, or that perfect health to just happen magically overnight by just reading self-help books, start taking action. Start creating the life that you want to live. Start creating the life you want to live. If you want to run a marathon, but you're not able to take 10 steps without breaking into heavy panting, start with those 10 steps. You want to have stronger connections with your friends, send out that message, say a hi. You want to move into that new career, find out what you need to do and start doing. So the question that I had put was, where in your life are you waiting for clarity to appear when perhaps clarity is waiting for you to create it? And there's this story of this painter, the painter who waited, like many of us. There was once a painter who spent years preparing for that perfect painting. She would collect her brushes, arrange her studio, waited for that perfect color, that perfect mood, the perfect inspiration. But perfection never came. And every day she would tell herself, not yet. I'm still not ready. And the canvas remained blank. And one day, in frustration, she just threw all her colors onto the palette. Messy, random, imperfect. And something unexpected happened. The painting came alive. Not because she found the right color, but because she finally started painting. She finally took some action. So, creation, whatever you want to create in your life, it doesn't need perfection. It needs participation. You become an artist by creating, you become yourself by beginning. So, yes, creation doesn't need perfection. It simply needs participation. It simply needs you to show up. That's about all you need to do. Simply show up. Because the life that we are waiting for, the life that we are all waiting for, is simply waiting for us to start. So going on the artist analogy, the universe wants you to take action. When it sees you taking action, it starts supporting you. We have spoken of synchronicities before. We start taking action and the universe supports us. And whatever idea, whatever action you need to take, if you take a moment to just contemplate on it, to simply reflect on it, you will find that all the tools you need to take action are already with you. All the tools that you need to take immediate action are already there with you. As you take action, whatever you need to move forward will tend to show up. This is the experience I keep observing over and over again. So, continuing with the analogy of the artist, every action you take is a brushstroke. And with every brushstroke, every day, we are adding color, we are adding texture, we are adding depth to the canvas of our life. Sometimes it's beautiful, sometimes it's messy, sometimes it's half finished, sometimes it's uncertain, but all of it belongs. Because we are not fixed identities. All of us are living works of art. We are living works of art that's constantly being reimagined. We change, we soften, we learn, we outgrow, and even the mistakes that we make, because we make mistakes and sometimes we are afraid to take action because we may make a mistake, because we may fail. But we need to remember that mistakes are a part of the masterpiece. So if you have a notebook with you, and if you don't, it's perfectly fine. If you have a notebook with you, write this down. What story are you willing or are you ready to start writing next? What story are you ready to start writing next? The stories that we write, they don't need to be perfect. They simply need to be honest. So, what story are you willing or are you ready to start writing next? It may be a story of a new career. It may be a story of an ultra marathon. It may be a story of a new relationship. It may be a story of a new role in your community. It may be a story of a commitment to a certain practice, maybe a meditation practice. So, what story are you ready to start writing next? What part of your life feels ready for new color? And I just remembered. I completely skipped finances. Finances. This is also something that a lot of us find challenging to create. So maybe the next story that you're willing to write is a story of abundance. The part of your life that feels ready for new color is the financial part of your life, or the relationship part of your life, or maybe leisure. So before we go into the meditation, another very, very short story. And the story is titled The Garden. And there's a man who tends a small garden behind his house. Every year, he plants new flowers, but none of them grow the same way twice. One spring, he sighs and he says, It never looks finished. And old neighbor looks at him, smiles, and says, "That's because it's alive." The man finally understands. It's not meant to be finished. It's meant to keep blooming, dying, and blooming again. And your becoming, our becoming, it works the same way. We don't reach completion. We never reach completion. We keep evolving. Every season, every season, we grow into a new version of us. We'll go now into a guided meditation. I've titled this meditation as the canvas of becoming. The canvas of becoming. If you're comfortable, close your eyes. And yes, of course, close your eyes only if it is safe to do so. Let your body soften. Drop your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Feel your breath move in and out. It's slow. It's kind. It's unforced. You don't have to find calm. You can create calm simply by breathing. And imagine standing before a vast, luminous canvas. A vast, luminous canvas. It stretches endlessly before you. It's blank. It's open. It's forgiving. This is you, not a fixed identity, but an unfolding one. Feel the brush in your hand. It glows faintly, warm against your fingers. You are the artist of this moment. With your next breath, choose a color that feels alive in you right now. Choose a color that feels alive in you right now. Maybe courage, a golden hue, or tenderness, a soft green, or rest in a calming blue. Choose a color that feels alive in you right now. And begin to paint. Slow, Deliberate strokes, no plan, no perfection, just presence. With every breath, new colors appear. Joy, patience, curiosity, self compassion. Let them swirl, let them blend. Some strokes are bold, some are uneven. They all belong. Now notice darker tones appearing, darker tones emerging. Pain, loss, uncertainty. Don't cover them. Let them stay. They add depth. They shape contrast. Even your shadows belong in this art. Step back in your mind and look at the canvas. It is not finished, but it's alive, beautifully human, impossibly yours. And whisper softly, I am not lost. I am in creation. Every breath is a brushstroke. Every choice is a color. Stay here for a few breaths. And now imagine the colors glowing softly, as if lit from within. Your inner self illuminated by the life you've been shaping all along. Your inner self illuminated by the life you've been shaping all along. And when you're ready, take one slow inhale And one deep exhale. Feel your feet, your hands, the weight of your body. And if your eyes were closed, you can open your eyes. So we don't have to go searching anymore. Every time we create, we are meeting ourselves. When we speak honestly, when we rest without guilt, when we dare to begin again, and even when we dare to take that risk to fail, our life is the art. And interestingly, we are both the painter and the painting. We are both the author and the book. There's this Japanese technique. It's it's when a bowl breaks or when a bowl cracks, they don't throw it away. But instead, what they do is they are Kintsugi. That's a Japanese technique. When a bowl breaks, they don't throw it away, but rather they put it together and they fill the cracks with gold. And once they do that, what they end up with is something that looks even more beautiful than the original item. And this is kind of how creation works. The cracks don't ruin us. The cracks reveal us. The cracks make space for the light to enter. So, as you leave today, simply remember this, that you are not something to be found. There's nothing to be found. You are something, you are someone that's being beautifully, being courageously made by yourself. Let's take that one last breath together. Take a breath in and out. And let that breath be your signature on the canvas of this moment. Let that breath be your signature on the canvas of this moment. Thank you for listening. This has been Everyday Paradoxes, Tiny Truths About Becoming. Before you move on, you might sit quietly with these questions. What did I recognize in myself today? Where is this paradox quietly at work in my life? And what is one small shift I'm being invited toward? Becoming rarely announces itself. It unfolds in awareness, in small recognitions, in the gentle courage to see clearly. This series is based on my book Everyday Paradoxes, Tiny Truths About Becoming. It's a reflective guide meant to be read slowly, not for answers, but for insights that deepen with time. You'll find the reflection questions in the description along with details about the book. If this conversation resonated, you're welcome to like, share, or subscribe so these truths can reach others who may need them. Until next time, stay present, stay curious, and keep becoming.